A youngest princess of the Rain Kingdom arises in the Sun Kingdom after losing a bet with her sister to become the betrothed of the Sun King, who is rumored to be a merciless monster that conquered the world just 3 years after his ascension to the throne. Things, however, do not go smoothly from the beginning immediately. After she arrives, her possessions are stolen, leaving her without any means to reach the place, and the people of the kingdom are hostile and rude to her due to her country being less. When the lava then the Sun Kingdom, resulting in its currency being almost worthless, thankfully, a kind family of commenters take her in and resolves to repay their kindness. When the elder sister of the family is kidnapped by mistake, Meg rushes to save her and uses her power over their weapon to defeat the lecherous man before forcing them to take her to the place. However, when she arrives, she is shocked to discover that the Sun King, the man who conquered the entire world and is now her betrothed, is a mere child, Livius. As the Sun King turns out to be a boy, leaving Night shocked after finding out that Nike is a Rain princess. He ordered her to bring forth rain for his amusement, and rage that he wants to use her gift for entertainment. Meg tells him that she cannot call the rain without first experience the beauty of the world. Livius provides an assortment of things from dresses to a wonderful meal, but she still refuses. Back tells Livius that she meant the world and in the nature surrounding them. As time goes on, Nick discovers that Livius sees no beauty in the world and becomes determined to show him what beauty really is. However, things do not go as planned. An assassination attempt is made against Livius, and Nike pushes him out of the way, only to get hit by an arrow herself. Thankfully, the arrow did not hit anything. Vital Livius is shocked though and sends Nike away by carries for safety after Nike leaves. Another assassination attempt is made, this time by burning down the palace with Olivia still inside back. She is a smoke and runs back to the castle. There she summons her rain in order to save Livius. Upon seeing the rainbow that forms after the rainfall, Olivia smiles. A party is held for Livius to present Nike. As his bride, a group of 4 nobles enter the garden where Nike is in Maker. Olivia sees them and marks them in turn before using Meg's lap as a pillow. Mike suggests he rest and reduces workload, and they end up arguing. Meg feels hard and thinks that he does not carry. In her room, she sings and remembers her conversation with her mother. She thanks her maids for putting beautiful flowers in her room, but they say that the king personally picks them every day in order to let her feel and ease. Nike smiles and says that he's an idiot. The party goes well, but Nike still does not appear. Even Livius doesn't know where Nike is, but is convinced by his butler to have some faith in the princess he chose as his bride. After a moment, they hear a song, and Nike enters, surrounded by rose petals. Blown throughout the room by the power of the wind, Mike thanks everyone for attending, and sings one more time, summoning rain, and mesmerizing the guests. The ministry of priesthood, who has the final say who can marry into the royal family, cancels Mike's engagement. The Olivia's on the grounds she comes from an undesirable country. Mike and Livius are adamant they will be married, so the priesthood demand that Nike takes the right of elimination. To prove that she is worthy to be the wife of Livius, she must venture into a cave and navigate through an old temple to find an ancient ring to Livius as his wedding ring. However, Livius warns Nike that throughout history many princesses forced to prove themselves on the right of elimination never made it out of the cave. Alive, Meg takes the right of elimination, but upon entering the cave to retrieve the ring, she finds the ring is missing, and she is surrounded by ministry of priesthood members, relieving that the priesthood has used the right of elimination for hundreds of years as a method of assassinating princesses that deemed unworthy to marry into the royal family. They attempt to assassinate her, but she escapes after meeting Livius in the cave, who followed her using a secret tunnel only he knew about during the engagement ceremony. Neither Livius or Meg have an engagement ring, so instead Nike uses her power to create a white rainbow in a perfect ring around the sun. Of the failed assassins, Furious reveals that Livius had entered the cave, which Nike, which is against the law, also accidentally revealing the truth of their attempted assassination. The Livius could have the assassin executed. Nike chooses to forgive them. The lead assassin tearfully admits Nike has made Livius a better king, while the head priest formally recognized Nike and Livius as an engaged couple. A child childhood friend of Livius arrives Luna of the Ocean Kingdom, who insists that she is Livius' real fiancé, even though Livius has never once asked her to marry him, and in fact finds a rather annoying. She makes Mac's life miserable by outdoing her, and everything Luna's jealousy reaches its peak when she sees Livius acting happy around Mike. The next day she challenges Nick to a game of chicken, racing her horses to the aqueduct. First one to stop loses, and if you don't stop you fall, and your life is forfeited, Mike accepts. And they race Luna falls after realizing that she cannot compare to Nike, who loves Livius for his weakness as well, and his strength Nike save Luna by summoning the wind, though it exhausts her greatly. Luna lives on happy terms. Mac calls Livius by his given name for the first time, and he kisses her. Suddenly, Olivia sees Uncle Bart, whom Livius has hated since childhood, returns from his travel around the world. He is handsome, popular with women, and talented, and he immediately tries to seduce Nike. Bart, Nike, and Livius all attend a banquet hosted by the nobility. While Livius is out on the balcony waiting for Nike, Bart abducts Snake to the room. Nike finds out that Bart does not really want to seduce her, but was testing her to see he chose suitable to marry his nephew. Livius fights them at the very moment and has Knight confined to the room while planning to personally torture Bart to death for adultery. Meg, realizing that she wants to help Livius and Bart reconcile their feelings, she breaks Bart out of prison and sets up a plan to get Barrett and Livius alone to tell to each other freely some of their past ill will. Resource Livius orders Bart to take up his old position. As Prime Minister, Bart agrees them, immediately begins flirting with Meg again, causing another fight with Livius. Meg receives a letter from the Principality of Rain, which says that Nike grandmother Tohora collapsed and therefore wants to see Nike. In case she should die, Mike remains silent about this until after she performs a rain summoning for the Sun King's quest. Livius points out that the rain wasn't as good as it usually was, which leads to Knight confessing what was written in the letter. Livius immediately cancels all their plans, so that he, Nike, and his butler Kneel can travel to the Principality of Rain to see Knight's grandmother together. However, it turns out that her grandmother is okay, and only threw out her back after meeting her grandmother. Livius meets her sister, Kidera. Meg's cousin comes in and plans with Tohora to stop Nike from returning with the Sun King. Also, since Livius did not seem to be enjoying their trip, Nike tries to cheer him up by letting him see the Principality of Rain starts and making him rice porridge. While talking, Meg realizes she loves Livius and kisses him. This startles both and causes them to blush Kitlerate. Is show watching the two in the background. Nike was asked to come and talk by Kitera but was tricked and put into a person that restrains her. Rain summoning power her grandmother has been plotting to erase the memory, oblivious of that she could keep Nike with her. Likely, Livius had already known this and tries to find Nike with the help of Nike's sister. He escapes. He encounters her grandma and she throws the key to Nike's skull into the lake. She would not acknowledge Livius and Nike's being together if she could not find a key. Livius drowned by a huge wave, while Nikki is attempting to break free from the cell by throwing her body and guessing causing harm to herself, declaring that she loves Livius. Both say that life and future without each other will be pointless and will be like death itself. Unable to bear looking at her plan, Kitera unlocks the cell and lets her go after escaping. Nikki meets her sister, who helped Libby because she wanted to think for herself and not just follow her sister tell her that Libby drowned trying to prove that she was right to marry Nike. When Nike arrives, it seems as though he is not going to awaken, but when he does, Olivia says he has won Tahara's game and found the keep later on, makes other sister apologize for the things they did to Nike. And Livius now, I can Livius have then dressed up, and he meets Nick's mother, who has gotten better. They are celebrated by the people of Principality of Rain, and Legus declares he will love and protect Nike. After the party, Livius confronts Kitera and lets him alone to talk with Nike. Returns to the Sun Kingdom with her grandmother, seeing her off. When they return, it seems Bart has slacked off a bit and invited many guests. Livius has to work for many days, as does Nike, since they were gone for so long, and so much needs to be done. However, they do not get see to each other at all during the time they work, and both get lonely. At last, Livius reunites with Nike and his secret place. Olivia showed her, and they confess they miss each other and need each other. They kiss.